Hi everyone, it's Paul Davis here again in Power 92 Studios. I wanted to do a quick video and here we go. A little bit of advice. Do not let anyone tell you who you are. Don't let anyone tell you who you are. And what do I mean by that? I mean, don't let anyone describe you to you and get you to believe that you are who they think you are. Your success and your love and life and greatness doesn't come from what other people think. It comes from what you think and how you feel about yourself. So when someone tells you you are or aren't something and you believe that, then you're giving them that power to make you believe what they say is true and what their description is of you is true, rather than what you say is true. Success is not an external thing. Success is not something that someone else can describe to you what is and what isn't success. Success. Successful is a mental state. I'm very successful. It doesn't have much to do with the size of my wallet, but it has everything to do with how I feel about myself in here and how I feel about myself in here. So how I think about myself in here and how I feel about myself in here. That is my mark of success. So my ability to move forward and do what I need to do isn't hinged on what my neighbor says. It isn't hinged on what haters say. It isn't hinged on what my bosses say. It isn't hinged on what my family say or what my friends say. It all depends on how I think about me in here and how I feel about me in here. And I know a lot of people are raised up in an environment that is total opposite to that, where everybody is constantly putting someone down or constantly holding them back by telling them that what they can and cannot do is too difficult, or telling them that they can and cannot do something. Like if you go for a job and they say, you couldn't do that job, or you wouldn't be any good at that job, or I wouldn't try to do that job, this and that. When a person say you can't, what they are really saying is they can't. When they say you can't do something, what they're really saying is I can't do something. When a person say that you're not good enough at something, what they're really saying is I'm not good enough at something. So when a person puts you down and say shame, that's shame, I wouldn't do that, that's shame, what they're really saying is I would be ashamed to do that. Now if you see successful people doing things and you go to do that same thing and someone tells you you can't do that, by what means is that true or false? The only mediator between the success that you see and the lack of success that you hear from someone else is you. The way you think, which one are you going to go towards and which one are you going to reject? So here's an idea. When you have friends around you who constantly tell you that you can and can't do something, choose the ones that say that you can do it, you are great enough, you're the best at that, and stick with them and listen to them. And sort of wean off the ones who say you can't do that, or that's shame, or I wouldn't do that. Sort of push them to the back burner a bit, and eventually they'll drop off because their state of mind will always be I can't, I can't, I can't. So therefore, they can't keep up with you. And if you start to move forward and letting yourself be influenced by positivity rather than negativity, you'll find yourself moving in a direction that you've been pining for all your life. You'll find yourself doing things and taking opportunities that you've wanted to have, that you've wanted to take for so long. They've been there. But because you had blinders on, because someone has been telling you you can't, and you've been believing that, and you can only see what they say. So infuse yourself with positive friends, with positive videos on YouTube, music on iTunes, and and CDs that you have, books that you have, DVDs that you watch. Try to infuse yourself with positive messages and encourage yourself. I myself enjoy encouraging myself by the Bible, or encouraging myself by some good music, or encouraging myself even by writing some things down and reading over it and going, oh yeah, that sounds good, that sounds good. I know it seems crazy, but if you literally wrote down positive things about yourself, and in a 2 days, 3 days time come back and see those positive things, you'll feel something totally different, because it will be like someone has written you a letter. And I know that's strange, but I got little notepads here, and I'll just be writing things, and I'll write something down, and I'll think to myself, oh yeah, that's really good, or a thought will pop in my head. This is really good. I've got that skill, and then I'll go on by my business. And when I'm looking for something, I'll go through and I'll find a page that has something written really nice on it about me, or about something an idea that I've had that reaffirms my self worth. See, it's not community worth. When I say self worth, it's not community worth. It's not what everybody thinks I'm worth. It's not what everybody thinks success is from me. It's self. This is an internal thing. This is something that I don't care who you are or what you say. I'm going to be able to feel a positive thing about myself. And the way to do that, now some people may ask, how do you get to that point where you're like a brick wall when it comes to negative stuff, and like a sponge when it comes to positive stuff? All it takes, all it takes is for you to start identifying what's negative, what's positive, and which one you're going to choose to absorb. Now, it sounds simple, but it is. Two people talking to me, either on either side of me. One saying, Paul, you can do it. You got good ideas on such and such. Go ahead, do it. You can do it. I believe in you. You know you got the skills. You know you can do it. The other person is saying, I would never do nothing like that. That's shameful. You'll put yourself out there. You'll look like an idiot, and people will laugh at you, and you'll think you're crazy, and people will start thinking you're crazy, and you're just not good enough for that. Now, the only person that can make a difference in here and in here is this one right here, is this person right here between the two. So if I choose to go, yes, you're right, I can do this. I can make a difference. I can hold my head up high and go and try this and go and try that, and use my ideas and do this and do that. And tell the other person, I mean, it could even be a mental block thing. What? I didn't hear you. Not what? I didn't hear. What'd you say? What'd you say? Just block them. Like mute. Just mute in one ear and just absorb from the other. Put a plug in there. So what comes in on this side stays in there. Nothing can get in from this side. Just think about that. Your self-worth is dependent on what you take into yourself. Now, the same thing works for the opposite. If you listen to when people say you can't do it, or if you imagine that someone is going to, and here's one of the things, some people imagine that their friends are going to laugh at them, so they never even try. Someone's going to imagine that their friends are going to, call shame on them, and they never even try. So if you put yourself in there, you constantly absorb negative things, either from yourself, either from friends, or either from, there are some negative music. There are a lot of negative music that will have you thinking that the only way you can succeed is if you've got $1 million riding around in a $500,000 car, and your clothes cost $300,000, and your house is $52 million, and there's a lot of music that make you feel like you're not worth anything if you don't have what they have. And there's a lot of news. Watching the news sometimes can get to a point where all you're taking in is the negative. News don't like to really play positive stuff. a little bit of positive just to keep the sweetener on it, but mostly it's sour, 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 negative, negative, negative. But a lot of people just watch it because bad news travel fast. Negative news is more entertaining than positive news. So if you infuse yourself with negative thoughts, negative things, negative people, um, you'll get negative outcomes. You'll end up, when there's an opportunity, like as Blacklight has, a beautiful opportunity for people to control their own financial destiny. I'm not saying everybody's going to jump into something and become super rich. I'm saying somebody's going to jump in. Some people are going to go in and go, you know what? I can do this. This is easy. I sit on Facebook all day, or I sit on Twitter all day already. So why not just do a little this, do a little that, and earn a little bit of money? Now, some people are going to go, yes, that's great. That's fantastic. Others are going to try, and it's going to take them, you know, a few more days than the other person. But if they keep at it, keep at it, keep at it, they'll start seeing results. If you let if you let negativity in, it will corrupt all the positive you have. That's why those people who um, are very positive people seem to be kind of arrogantly stuck up in the clouds. And I'm not saying they're arrogant stuck ups. I'm just saying that their demeanor when it comes to someone saying that they're negative, they can't even fathom it. They can't even it doesn't even compute. Like, somebody says, "Oh yeah, you can't do it." It's like, yeah, you don't know me, do you? And then those who are quite negative people are negative people because they've been told that they are so much less, so they cannot do. You know, there was a video I was watching by David Woods. I think it was David Woods, David Wood, or someone like that. And the idea was they were reading the book, and different philosophers were saying the same thing that I'm saying here. The idea is if you infuse yourself with negative things, and if you infuse yourself with negative things, you'll say negative things and do negative things and have negative outcomes. Hey, that's life. That is simple, simple, simple life. If you want the math to life, that's it right there. Negative plus negative equals negative. You infuse yourself with positive plus positive equals positive. Why do you think half of the people in the world have this and half the people in the world go this way? When it comes to like jobs, you have two people that are equally skilled. One person has gone up to be vice president, and the other person still in the same position they were in, when they first started. Mainly because of their outcomes, their views. One person thought, well, I can reach the top, and the other one thought, well, that's shame trying to do that. What if I don't make it? What if you don't make it? Who cares? Your positivity is going to get you past that point where you think, okay, what if I never make it? You may actually make president of the company. Or, these are just an example, but just what if you have never had a job before in your life and I offer you an opportunity to work from home? I mean, I offer you an opportunity to work from home. Something that most people who work, 90% of people who work would take up an opportunity to work from home and earn good wage. It all depends on what you think up here, what you think up there. It all depends on what you think. No one else can tell you. No one else can do it for you. No one else can live your life for you, and no one else can succeed or fail for you. Do you know that? No one else can fail for you, and no one else can succeed for you. You have to do it yourself. And the easiest way to fail is to do nothing. Is to do absolutely nothing, and you are guaranteed failure. So, anyway, this is video one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you take on board some of the things that I said, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.